NEET Biology diagram based practice question number 16. Question number 1. The diagram represents a population growth curve. Mark the correct option. Shown in the diagram, population growth curve. When responses are not limiting the growth, plot is exponential. When response the limiting the growth, plot is logistic. K is carrying the capacity. Does the growth of a population with time show any specific and predictable pattern? We have been concerned about unbridled human population growth and problem created by it in our country, and it is therefore natural for us to be curious if different animal population in nature behave the same way or show some restraints of growth. Number 1, exponential growth. Resource, that is food and space availability, are obviously essential for the unnumbered growth of a population. Ideally, when resources in the habitat are unlimited, each species has the ability to realize fully its innate potential to grow in number, as Darwin observed while developing the theory of natural selection. Then the population grow in an exponential or geometric fashion. Is during by dn by dt equal to p minus d into n. Let p minus d is equal to r when dn by dt equal to rn. The above equation describes the exponential or geometric growth pattern of population and result in the J-shaped curve when we plot in the n relation to time. If you are familiar with the basic calculus, you can derive the integral formula of the exponential growth of equation. Nt is equal to n0 ERT. Nt is equal to population density after time t. N0 population density at time 0. R is equal to intrinsic rate of natural increases. E is equal to the base of natural logarithm 2.71828. Second one, logistic growth. No population of any species in nature and at a disposal of unlimited resources to permit exponential growth. This leads to competition between individuals for limited resources. Eventually, the fittest individual will survive and reproduce. A population growing in a habit with a limited resources, so initiating the lag phase, then phases of acceleration and deceleration, and finally as a asymptote when the population density reaches the carrying capacity. In the following, this type of population growth is called Weyl-Hurst-Paul logistic growth. dn by dt is equal to rn kn by k. N is equal to population density at a time t. R is equal to intrinsic rate of natural increase. K is equal to carrying capacity. So the correct answer option D. D is K is the carrying capacity. Question number 2. The diagram, the relative contribution of various gases to the global warming. Mark the correct composition of gases. Shown the diagram, relative contribution of various greenhouse gases to total global warming. The term greenhouse effect has been derived from a phenomenon that occurs in a greenhouse. Have you ever seen a greenhouse? It looks like a small glass house and is used for growing plants, especially during winter. In a greenhouse, the glass panel lets the light in but does not allow heat to escape. Therefore, the greenhouse warm up very much like inside a car that has been parked in the sun for a few hours. The greenhouse effect is a naturally occurring phenomenon that is responsible for heating of Earth's surface and atmosphere. You would be surprised to know that without greenhouse effect, the average temperature at the surface of Earth would have been chilly minus 18 degrees Celsius rather than the present average of 15 degrees Celsius. In order to understand the greenhouse effect, it is necessary to know the fate of the energy of sunlight and reaches the outermost atmosphere. Cloud and gases reflect about 1/4 of the incoming solar radiation and absorb some of it, but almost half of incoming solar radiation falls on the Earth's surface, heating it, while a small proportion is reflected back. Earth's surface re-emit heat in the form of infrared radiation, but parts of this does not escape into space's atmospheric gases, example carbon dioxide, methane, etc. Absorb a major fraction of it. The molecule of these gases radiate heat energy, and a major part of which again come to Earth's surface, thus heating it upon once again. The cycle is repeated many a times. The above mentioned gases, carbon dioxide, methane, are commonly known as greenhouse gases because they are responsible for the greenhouse effect. Increase in the level of greenhouse gases led to considerable heating of Earth, leading to global warming. During the past century, the temperature of Earth has increased by 0.6 degrees Celsius. Most of during the last 3 decades, the scientists believe that is the rise in the temperature is leading to the deleterious changes in the environment and resulting in the odd climatic changes. Example, El Nino effect, thus leading to increased melting of polar ice cap as well as other places like the Himalayan snow cap. Over many years, this will result in a rise in sea level that can submerge many coastal areas. The total spectrum of changes that global warming that bring out a subject that still under active research. So the correct answer option D. D is N2O 6%. Question number 3. What is the incorrect about B? Shown the diagram, 3-dimensional cut section of an anther. A typical angiosperm anther is bilobed with each lobe having 2 theca, that is, they are dithecous. Often a longitudinal groove runs lengthwise separating the theca. Let us understand the various type of tissue and the organization, the transverse section of an anther. Bilobed nature of anther is very distinct in the transverse section of the anther. The anther is four-sided, that is a tetragonal structure consisting of 4 microsporangia located at the corner, 2 in each lobe. The microsporangia develop further and become pollen sac. They extend longitudinally all through the length of an anther and are packed with pollen grains. So the correct answer option D. D is none of this. Diagram A is line of dehiscence, B is pollen grains, C is pollen shock, D is filamen, that is called stalk. Question number 4. An exception to the above dogma is shown the diagram, central dogma of protein synthesis. Protein synthesis involves including 2 steps are there, transcription and translation. The process of copying genetic information from one strand of the DNA into RNA stamped as transcription. Here also the principle of complementary governs the process of transcription, except the adenosine now form base pair with uracil instead of thymine. However, unlike in process of replication, which once set in the total DNA of an organism gets duplicated, in transcription only a segment of DNA and only one strand of this is copied to RNA. The necessity defining the boundaries that would demarcate the region and the strand of DNA that would be transcribed. Second process, translation. Translation refers to the process polymerization of amino acid to form an polypeptide. The order and sequence of amino acid are defined by the sequence of bases in the mRNA. The amino acids are joined by a bond which is known as a peptide bond. Formation of peptide bond requires energy. Therefore, in the first phase itself, amino acid are activated in the presence of ATP and linked to their cognate tRNA. The primary process called charging of tRNA or amino acylation of tRNA to be more specific. If two such charged tRNA are brought close enough, the formation of peptide bond between them would be favored energetically. The presence of catalyst would enhance the rate of peptide bond formation. So the correct answer option A is retrovirus. Question number 5. The diagram represent. Shown in the diagram, example of homologous organ in plants. Homology indicates common ancestry. Other example of vertebrae, heart and brain. In plants also, the thorn and tendrils of bougainvillea and cucurbita represent homology. Homology is based on divergent evolution, whereas analogy refers to situation exactly opposite. The wings of butterfly and bird look alike. They are not anatomically similar structure, though they perform similar function. Hence, analogous structure or result is convergent evolution. Different structure evolving the same function and hence having similarity. So the correct answer option A is homologous evolution. Question number 6. The pedigree chart represent. Show in the diagram autosomal recessive trait. For example, of sickle cell anemia. Broadly, genetic disorders may be grouped into two categories: Mendelian disorders and chromosomal disorders. Mendelian disorders are mainly determined by alteration or mutation in the single gene. The disorders are transmitted to the offspring. On the same line, we have studied the principle of inheritance. The pattern of inheritance of such Mendelian disorders can be traced in the family of the pedigree analysis. Most common and prevalent Mendelian disorders are hemophilia, cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, color blindness, phenylketonuria, thalassemia, etc. It is important to mention here that Mendelian disorders may be dominant or recessive. By pedigree analysis, one can easily understand whether the trait in question is dominant or recessive. Similarly, the trait may be also linked to the sex chromosome, as in the case of hemophilia. It is evident that excellent recessive trait shows transmission from carrier female to male progeny. A representative pedigree shown for dominant or recessive trait. So the sickle cell anemia, this is an autosomal linked recessive trait that can be transmitted from parent to the offspring when both the partners are carrier for the gene or heterozygous. The disease is controlled by a single pair of allele, HBA and HBS. Out of these three possible genotype only, homozygous individual for HBS and HBS show the diseased phenotype. So the correct answer option B is autosomal recessive. Question number 7. Which layers serve the function of providing nutrition to the developing pollen? Show in the diagram enlarged view of one microsporangium showing wall layers. In a transverse section, a typical microsporangium appears near circular in outline. It is generally surrounded by 4 wall layers: epidermis, endothelium, middle layer, and the tapetum. The outer three wall layers perform the function of protection and help in digestion of anther to release the pollen. The innermost wall layer is the tapetum. It nourishes the developing pollen grain. Cell of the tapetum possess dense cytoplasm and generally have more than one nucleus. When the anther is young, a group of compactly arranged homogeneous cell called sporogenous tissue occupy the center of each microsporangium. So the correct answer option C. C is E. Diagram A is epidermis, B is endothelium, C is middle layer, D is microspore mother cell, and E is tapetum. Question number 8. Mark the incorrect statement. Shown the diagram, Escherichia coli cloning vector BBR322 showing restriction site KIND3, ECOR1, BAM-HI, SAL1, PVU2, PST1, CLA1, ORI and antibody resistant genes ampicillin and tetracycline, ROP code for the protein involved in the replication of the plasmid. So the BBR322 contain the number of requirements. Number 1, origin or replication, that may be ORI. This is a sequence from where replication start and any piece of DNA when linked to the sequence can be made it to replicate within the host cell. Second one, selectable marker. In addition to ORI, the vector requires a selectable marker which helps in identifying and eliminating non-transformant and selectively permitting the growth of the transformant. Transformation is a procedure through which a piece of DNA is introduced in the host bacterium. Then third one, cloning site. In order to link the aligned DNA, the vector needed to have very few, preferably single recognition site for the commonly used restriction enzyme. Presence of more than one recognition site within the vector will generate several fragments which will complicate the gene cloning. The ligation of aligned DNA is carried out away restriction site present in one of the two antibody resistant gene, that is ampicillin resistant gene, tetracycline resistant genes. The transformant growing on the ampicillin growing medium and the transport to the medium containing tetracycline. The recombinant will grow in the ampicillin contain medium but not then containing tetracycline. But non-recombinant will grow on the medium containing both the antibiotics. So the correct answer option C. C is represent ROB. Diagram A is TET, tetracycline, and B is ampicillin, AMPR, C is ORI, and D is ROP. Question number 9. Which the muscle marked by C? Shown the diagram, a diagrammatic sectional view of mammary gland. A functional mammary gland is a characteristic of all female mammal. The mammary glands also paired structure, that is a breast that contain glandular tissue and a variable amount of fat. The glandular tissue of each breast is divided into 15 to 20 mammary lobe containing cluster of cell called alveoli. The cell of the alveoli secrete milk which is stored in the cavity, that is a lumens of alveoli. The alveoli open into mammary tubules. The tubules of each lobe join to form a mammary duct. Several mammary ducts join to form a wider mammary ampulla which is connected to lactariferous duct through the which milk is sucked out. So the correct answer option C. C is pectoralis major. Diagram A is rib, B is muscle between rib, C is pectoralis major muscle. Question number 10. The diagram represents a nucleosome. Mark the correct labeling. Shown the diagram a nucleosome. In eukaryotes, the organization is much more complex. There is a set of positively charged basic protein called histone. A protein acquires charge depending upon the abundance of amino acid residues with the charged side chain. Histone are rich in basic amino acid residues, lysine and arginine. Both amino acid residues carry positive charges in the side chain. Histone are organized to form unite to 8 molecule called histone octamer. The negatively charged DNA is wrapped around the positively charged histone octamer to form structure called nucleosome. A typical nucleosome contains 200 base pair of nucleus of the DNA helix. Nucleosome constitutes the repeating unit of a structure. A nucleus is called chromatin. Thread-like strained color body seen in the nucleus. The nucleosome in chromatin are seen like bead-on string structure when we view under the electron microscope. So the correct answer option A. A is H1 histone. In the diagram, A mentioning that H1 histone, B is histone octamer, C is DNA and D is core of histone molecules.